Hey everybody, this is Eric, and I'm going to be going over actually the last two tournaments from a statistical perspective. First of all, for those of you that were there this weekend, I really enjoyed hanging out with teams this weekend and helping coach using the term helping in quotations. I was really just there rooting and supporting Chris as best as I could. And again, as you know, I can't really make it to too many of them, so I really enjoy quite a bit. Spooky Noop was a lot of fun, and this one as well. I don't know how much I can participate in other tournaments live, but I hope to come to some practices once you still have those, and continue to work kind of behind the scenes to do the statistical analysis and help the coaches with what those statistics mean. So this is going to be somewhat long, only because we waited until the end of this tournament to deal with the Memorial Day tournament as well. So we are going to go over all 5 games from the Connecticut tournament. And unfortunately, we only had 3 games usable from the tournament this weekend. But we did have the finals and a couple of the others. We didn't have the Gauchos game because that was at another gym, which leads me to, again, another point. If at any time anybody from the team wants to, do the filming and get me the footage, I'd be more than happy to upload it and use it in my analysis. Sometimes, the streaming services just don't pick up the games for no reason other than their inefficiency. Nothing certainly to do with me. Nonetheless, let's go through some of these, and let's start with the Memorial Day tournament. And again, we're going to look at each game from a statistical perspective, both from a team perspective and individuals. And then the good thing is that we have a decent sample size now where we can make some very meaningful observations. So let's just take a look. Let's just start off with the New Haven Heat game. And again, what we are looking at, again, just to remind everybody, let's look at New Haven Heat. New Haven Heat. What we are looking for are 3 things: an effective field goal percentage of over 55%, a turnover rate of under 20, and an offensive rebound percentage of over 30. Now, when I say what we're looking for are numbers that can kind of travel well. If you can get those types of numbers, you could beat like the better teams. So I'm not as concerned about the wins as the trend of these actual numbers, because like you beat New Haven Heat, for example, with with these numbers, these are not going to necessarily translate to performances against better teams, which sorry I had to pause there, but I think, as I was implying, if you see numbers like this, those numbers are not going to translate to wins against the better teams, which you saw kind of play out in the rest of this tournament. So 46% is actually pretty poor for you guys for effective field goal percentage. Turnover rate was actually pretty poor as well, as was offensive rebound percentage. Very interesting. Let's take a look at the shot chart and see kind of where the effective field goal percentage kind of failed. And again, there's still this glitch on Huddle where you have to select it when you pull this up. So the shot selection was actually pretty good. You only had what I call basically 3 bad twos out of 52. So your shot selection was really good. This is just the one tournament, I guess, this one game you decided to miss everything from 3. What, 5 for 9, 6 for 12? Actually, it's not 6 for 20, 8 for 25. It's actually not that bad. But at this level, you're just going to need to be a little better. If you guys were the 11th grade, the 10th grade team, when I'm only asking for 50% effective field goal percentage, this one's kind of close. But You guys just play a higher level of competition. You need to have 55%. So this is just not gonna be good enough. 3 of 8 at the rim, 6 of 12 at the rim. You probably have to be a little bit better there as well. All right, let's take a look at the individuals from this game and see what that looks like. Now, again, as long as we have the right people taking the shots, I don't really mind too much the results. So, like, for example, you have Roddy, who is 2 for 8 from 3. All right, it's not that bad. You know what I mean? Because if you think about it, if he had one more make, he'd be right around his average, which is about 42%. If he had 2 more makes, he'd be held, much bigger than average. So as long as he's taking the shots, I think it's fine. And Tony, all right, he was 1 for 5, but as long as he's the one taking the threes, it's good. Leo, 1 for 1. Malcolm 2. He took 4. Brandon took 3. So I'm not as concerned with the results because we already know who the good 3-point shooters are. There's basically Roddy, and everybody else borders on poor to medium range. So honestly, if you have nothing better, then you guys should be taking these wide open threes. But basically everybody except for Roddy should be trying to get it to the rim or get it to guys that can get it to the rim, based on these numbers. Now, I'm not talking again. We're not talking about development. We're not talking about anything else. We're just talking about what it's going to take to actually win these games, given the information that we know. And Roddy taking 10 threes is always a good thing. Okay. You only took 8 here. I'd like him to take 10. I guess that's pretty much all I have from this game. You had 5 turnovers from Brandon. That's not good. Obviously, Josh had 4 turnovers. Chike with 3. Chike had 20 points, which is really good. 8 of 10 from the line, which is extremely good. So overall, I thought that the performance was just okay, maybe a little poor. And that's why you only won this game by 2. I mean, I think you could have probably done a little bit better. All right, let's go back to the next game, which is, let's look at, I don't know. Let's look at day in versus day out. Again, I don't remember the order of these games, but so day in and day out, you ended up winning, and these stats are excellent. This is what you want. So 58% effective field goal percentage. Again, over 55. 18% turnover rate, under 20. That's good. And over 30% offensive rebound percentage, was 39%. So this is excellent. Okay. Now let's take a look at the shot chart. Again, we have to move it back. Shot chart versus day in, day out. We have the shot chart was okay. Yeah, I mean, it was actually pretty good. You only had 2, 3, 4, only 4 bad 2s like the whole game, which again, for those of you who remember, we want to keep the bad 2s under 10%. And you guys are really embracing this, whether on purpose or just because you kind of learning what types of shots are efficient, or the offense is kind of designed to get layups and threes. This is excellent. Okay. And a good distribution of threes versus inside. This is an exceptional game, by the way. I like this game a lot. Let's take a look at the numbers here individually. So individually, we had, there's Roddy, 6 for 10, shot 10 threes. That's what I want. He shoots 10 threes, he's going to average about 4. If he's running hot, he'll make 5. He's running bad, he makes 3, But we want him to take 10 threes. And Tony, 8 taking threes. I think it's fine. Brandon, 3 for 5. Okay, this is all good. Chike, Josh. So I think the distribution was pretty decent here. And that usually is going to correspond to good performance. Kept the turnovers down. Just overall, a really, really strong game. Right now, let's go to what do you want to do first? We'll do the 2 losses first. Well, let's do this loss first. Let's do the BABC loss. This is they had some good players on this team, as Chris will attest. And yeah, we didn't have Josh, but whatever. Let's take a look at it. So this is just not going to work, right? So you guys at 37% effective field goal percentage, that's not beating anybody, you know? So that's not going to work. You did take care of the ball okay, and the rebound percentage is pretty good, but your effective field goal percentage is just poor. Now, I'm not going to mind too much if, again, the shot distribution was good. Let's just take a look at it just to see. BABC. Yeah, I mean, this is what happened. So Roddy took 11 threes, which is what we want. He was 2 of 11. How often is he going to go 2 for 11? Almost never. Okay. So if he ended up like either 4 of 11 or more likely 5 of 11, that's 9 more points, which is based on his averages. And then you're like right in the game. Okay. Antony shooting 7 threes. I like it. Favre, I don't know if you should be shooting 4 threes. Brandon had a poor game, efficiency wise, but again, as long as you got Roddy taking the 10 threes and he's probably taking more than the other guys, I think you're in good shape here. Turnovers, not so bad, but just overall, you just couldn't get it done from the outside, and that's just the way it's going to be. I mean, Leo 0 for 8 total, including 0 for 5 from 2. Let's go back to this shot chart for just a second. Shot chart. I want to just look at something. Yeah, so this is, I mean, again, not terrible. 4, maybe 5 bad twos. So your distribution was fine. You just missed everything. And that is going to be the case sometimes. So I honestly don't have much of a problem with the performance in this game, just the execution. Just the making of the shots. You're taking shots that you make on a regular, on a consistent basis, but on a basis where if you ran normal, you would have been right there in the game, even against a good team. So I don't mind this loss at all. All right, let's move on. Let's look at, so you had 2 other games in this. You had a Mass Rivals that you won, and then a Mass Rivals that you lost. Let's look at the one that you won first. This is against Mass Rivals Hazleton. And here your effective field goal percentage was right alongside of where you need to be. 53%, almost 54. So you're right there. Turnover rate strong, less than 20 by a lot. Offensive rebound percentage right about 30. So overall, this should win most games. Let's take a look at the shot chart. Again, boy, I'll tell you, you guys have come a real long way with your shot selection. I mean, you really have. Let's take a look at this one. Yeah, 2, 3, maybe 5 bad twos or so. But that's about it. Less than 10%, that's what we want. Really good job. And let's now take a look at where the distribution came from. Box score, Mass Rivals, not Nelson, Mass Rivals. What Mass Rivals for Hazleton. Let's take a look here. We have, see, the one that I didn't like was that Roddy only took 6 threes. He should really take more like 10. And you guys, the team should probably have taken more. Now, I don't know. It's possible they just took it all away from you. The other thing that's kind of, is this Mass Rivals Hazleton? I think it's a little annoying about this. Actually, this is fine. Where you did get it done is, I guess, was this at the rim? Yeah, you were 10 for 14 at the rim, 3 for 7. So that was good. You did get to the rim quite a bit, which was really, really good. That's why you ended up winning. Chike, 5 for 9, 0 for 2 from 3. Antony, again, kind of a cold day for you, but I still want you taking the shots. And this is going to seem like a little bit counterintuitive, but again, even though Roddy only was 2 for 6, I wanted him to take 10. That's what I really want from him, statistically, is he needs to take 10 threes. But overall, decent, right? And you start to learn how these numbers kind of work. And you were right there up against the barriers that you needed to pass. And you had a very, very good win. Was it great? No, but it was a good win. And let's now look at the last game, which was the game against mass rivals Nelson, where you only put up 40 points. I'm afraid to see what that translated to. Yeah, so 35% effective field goal percentage is beating nobody. Your turnover rate at 16% wasn't bad, but only 17% offensive rebound percentage. That's extremely poor. I mean, you're never going to get there with either of these two things. Now, again, they did have some big boys on that team, so maybe the offensive rebound percentage is maybe something you can't really help too much. I mean, you couldn't help it. I've been saying this for a couple of years now. You can help it with respect to scheme. Like if you're dealing with, a team with a lot of size, you can send more guys to the glass, and you can make sure you emphasize weak side crashing, things like that. Aside from that, what's the first rebound percentage? I mean, I know that coaches, we love to yell like rebound, rebound's not that easy. And with the effective field goal percentage, the way you can improve this is, getting in the gym and shooting better. Okay, great. But also your shot distribution. So let's take a look and see what the shot distribution looks like from that game. Mass rivals Nelson. I mean, not bad. 46 shots taken, only 4 bad twos. So the problem is 0 for 11 from 3 from over here. So let's just see who the culprit was, and 1 for 6 from there. So again, as long as we have Roddy taking the threes. Mass rivals, no, not mass rivals, hitting mass rivals Nelson. As long as you have Roddy taking the threes, I think we're okay. I wanted him to take a few more. I wanted him to take more like 10 or 11. He took 9. That's okay. 3 for 9. Antoni 1 for 5. Not good. Chike 0 for 4. Not good. So again, aside from this, I think the distribution is okay. I don't know how much I want Chike taking threes. You want to know the truth? Antoni, he has to be taking them. His sample size of threes, it's more than, we'll take a look at that. But it's got to be about 35% to correspond to that 55% effective field goal percentage, actually more like 37. And we'll talk about that when we do go through season-long stats. So that was this game, and this is why we lost. We just didn't execute well at all. Your shot selection was just kind of okay. And your offensive rebound percentage is really poor, which means that they have more shots than you. And that's kind of tough to overcome. All right, let's take a look at the tournament this weekend. So we did have 5 games, but unfortunately, we're not able to get 2 of them due to things that are caused by inefficiencies of people other than me. So let's take a look. Let's look at the stats first of the Wolfpack game, where we won by a decent amount. Identify unknowns. I already handled the unknowns, I think. Let's just take a look at it. Unknowns. Yeah, we just have 1 unknown from the other team. So when you're on court 1 at Island Garden, you get that view. So let's see. Crown versus Wolfpack. Not bad. 50% effective field goal percentage. Not great. This performance probably wouldn't have beaten like really, really good teams. Now, again, we're not talking about the defensive aspects of this. I mean, we've been doing really, really well defensively. So we've been holding teams to, field goal percentages, which are really, really low. But again, what I found is that defense, and this is going to be very, very counterintuitive, because I know you coaches are always about defense wins championships, defense travels. Defense travels less than offense does, right? And that's just a fact. If you can play good defense, but if you're against a team that can fire, there's really not a lot you're going to be able to do about it. I promise you. I know we love to say that we can do a lot about it. You can do a lot scheme-wise, like try to take threes away. But if you got guys that could fire and you're up against them, not a lot you can do statistically to stop it, honestly. Where offensively you could do a little bit more. That's just a fact. And you can debate me on that all you want, but that's unfortunately, reality. So 50% effective field goal percentage, good enough, I guess. 15% turnover rate, low enough. Offensive rebound percentage, not really that great, but you held this team that you were against. Let's look at this. They had 38% effective field goal percentage. And if you were against anybody else, this game could have been a problem. But this team was awful. So let's take a look at the shot chart and see what that looks like. Versus Wolfpack. So your distribution was good. 1, 2, 3, only 6 bad twos, which is excellent. I really like it. So look at theirs, for example, okay, just to show you. And this is what I saw all tournament, was how bad other teams were at this. They had 8, 9, 15 bad twos out of 67 shots. That is a recipe for just losing. And they basically handed you a game that you could not lose. And that's really the case. Let's take a look at the box score from this game. See who showed out individually, if anybody. Versus Wolfpack. Roddy, only 2 for 6 from 3, but he did shoot 11 of them, which is what I like. Leo shot 11, again, only 2 for 6 from 3. And Tony, 1 for 5 from 3. So you guys just really didn't shoot it all that great. But you shot it well enough to beat a really, really bad team who was really awful in this game. So I'm not going to lie to you. This game was not great. And I think as Chris will attest, I mean, like overall this weekend, the energy level overall was, I would say poor. You know, even though you guys won and you won the whole thing, I mean, you had spurts where you guys were really good. But overall, I thought it was, this is my opinion with Elderwine. I mean, I thought it was a little bit lackluster. I thought you guys could have played better the whole weekend, honestly. We'll talk about one of the games. We were able to actually get a semifinal game against the one of the Lightning teams, where you guys played against a team with only 5 players and you let them hang around like a little bit way too long. Anyway, that'll do it for this game. Let's look at the game against, not box score, let's go to stats. The second of the 3 games that we have is this. Oh, is this New York Lightning game? Is this the one where they had 5 guys? Let's take a look. Hold on. Let me just see something. No, this was not the one where they had 5 guys. That was a different team, I think. That was a different Lightning team. Although I might be mistaken. Anyway, no, hold on a minute. I'm going to check this out. Box score versus, hang on. New York Lightning. We'll look at the box score first. I just want to make sure it's the team that I know. No, this is not the team with only 5 guys. Oh, this was because this was not the semis. The semis was the one where we played the team with 5 guys. And it was really 4 guys. Because one of the kids was just kind of just in there. Anyway, Crown versus New York Lightning. Now, let's look at Crown. Effective field goal percentage was just excellent. 60% effective field goal percentage, very, very good. Turnover rate, 17%, very good. Offensive rebound percentage, 42%. And when you have those 3 things the way they are, that's how you win games by 20, and you won the game by 20. Very, very nice. Take a look at the shot chart from this game. Awesome. Only 3 bad twos the whole day. That's my applauding. Really, really good job, guys, being honest. Let's look at the box score. Let's see what we got here. Roddy, 7 for 9 from 3. Let's go. And I'm going to complain a little bit. I still want him to shoot more. I want 10. But excellent job. And this is when he runs hot, you know. If he's running normal, he's going to shoot 4 of 9. But when he runs hot, you get this. And basically the 3 shots that he made over and above, think about this funny. Well, actually that made him, you win by 9. Not 20. Anyway, and Tony made shot 8. I like it. Everybody else, a couple good, really good shot distribution, really, really strong. Turnovers, 4 for Brandon. I don't like that. Overall, statistically, very, very strong game. All right, and in the finals against Riverside Hawks, I'm actually very interested to see this stats in this game. I haven't looked yet. Now, I presume that this was about what you were going to say. 60% effective field goal percentage, which was excellent. And then 7% turnover rate. You took care of the ball extremely well. Offensive rebound percentage, 21%. I want to look at the Crown opponents for a second because I wanted to see if I was hallucinating. No, I wasn't. In the first half, that team was on fire. Okay, their effective field goal percentage, for example, in the first half was 60% compared to our 48. And I knew that that wasn't going to hold. So I was confident that we were going to pull away eventually. But that was a rough half to watch because they didn't miss. And the thing that does not travel well is bad shot selection. And as we talked about on the bench, they were making shots that were just not even human. Okay. And you just can't win like that in the long run. They had that one kid who was just insanely talented, who made some incredible shots, but those shots just are not consistently not available. They're just not going to work for you in the long run. And the second half just kind of bore that out. You guys did a better job with the turnover rate in the first half, which is why whatchamacallit, not in the first half. So first half they were really, really good, 59-8, but they only got 11% offensive rebound percentage. That's what happened in the first half. First half, you had many more offensive rebounds, which meant you had more shots. That's why we weren't even losing at the end of the first half. I think it was like tied or something like that. Nonetheless, 60% effective field goal percentage against a good team, that's humming. I mean, you guys did great. And taking care of the ball at 7%, this is just awesome. You got beat on the glass a little more than I thought you would, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Let's take a look at the shot chart. I mean, I almost want to cry how good this is. Oh, it's New York Lightning. Shoot. Let's see how good this one is. Now that I opened my big mouth. Oh, almost better. 3 bad twos out of 61. It's almost as if you're listening to what I'm saying. Almost. You're going to win everything playing like this. You're going to win everything with the combination of your talent and this type of shot distribution, plus your defense. I mean, I don't want you to lose a game all summer if you want to know the truth. Anyway, let's take a look at the box score. Versus Riverside. Let's see what we got. Roddy, 7 for 16. Perfect. Right in there. And the fact that he took 16. Wasn't shy, just fire. I love it. Just love it. Antonio, you missed this one. And overall, just excellent. Chike, really, really good game at the rim. And you made a couple of threes as well. Brandon, you were off, but whatever. Everybody can't be on. Josh, attacking the rim as usual. 9 defensive rebounds. Chike and him dominated the glass. Josh, sneaky, 7 assists. He was really good. You were really good all weekend with what you had to do out there. So overall, just, one kind of crappy game, one good game, and one really, really good game. And I didn't get the other 2. I heard the Gauchos game was sloppy. I don't believe what you hear sometimes, because it's funny. Like when I was watching this game on the bench, I overheard like the other coach said, "Oh my God, Roddy's so cold. What is he, like 2 for 10?" And I'm watching. I'm like, "You sure about this?" That's why numbers don't lie. Okay, that's the beauty of this. Yes, sometimes they're going to miss something and assign a 3 to somebody else, but I confirmed this. He was in fact 7 for 16 for this game. All right. So let's take a look now at the season. We would love to have for the season, and look what we have 27 games. We have a sample. We have like almost a full college basketball season to analyze here. And you'll take a look at it, and let's take a look at this. Effective field goal percentage overall, 50%. We'd like it at 55. Okay. We'd like it at 55. Turnover rate, 16. Little, perfect. Offensive rebound percentage. Once now Josh is back, I expect this to be up over 30. So overall, is your field goal percentage good enough if you put up 50%? So no. But if you continue to trend the way that you're trending and continue to have your shot distribution fall into line the way it has been, this is excellent. Let's take a look at the season-long box score, shot chart. Season-long shot chart. So what you'll see here is 38. I want to count the bad twos. 38, 59, 80, 92. Okay, even if you add these in, you are under 10%. And I will promise you that if you looked at the first 10 games, it wasn't like that. Okay. First 10 or 13 games, you were just kind of messing around, taking more bad twos. But you are now in a groove where hopefully, that we want to get to the rim or shoot the wide open threes. And that's how you start getting towards 55% effective field goal percentage. Now, the way you get to 55% effective field goal percentage requires two things. You have to be either 55% from two or 38% from three. Actually, 37% from three. I don't want to get into the math. It's real easy math. 37% from three, because it's worth 1.5 times the amount of a two. You multiply that by 1.5, and that's how you get 55%. So 55% from two, or 37% from three. So I say that so that we can do an intelligent analysis of the players. Okay. So when you're looking at the players, what you need to have as a player is either an effective field goal. Well, you would like to have an effective field goal percentage of 55%. And the way you get that, you've got to be able to either make 55% of twos or 37% of threes. Now, ideally, it's both. Okay. But that's really difficult to do. But we'll talk about that in a minute too. So these are the goals at your level individually that's going to make your team reach its goals of beating everybody. Okay, so let's take a look at who's doing it. First, let's just track by sheer effective field goal percentage. So you have three guys that have effective field goal percentage of over 55%. Josh, Roddy, and Chike. And the way it breaks down is a little differently, because when you look at it by twos, Josh, 62% from two, excellent. Chike, 58% from two, perfect. Now, Roddy, he's only taken 37 twos, but we don't really care, okay? When you look at the threes, Roddy has an incredibly sharp 42.4%. This was what he shot last year as well. Last year, we had two guys shoot over 40% from three on that same team, which is last year's team that Roddy was on with Roddy and Ryan and X and them. That was one of the most efficient teams I've ever seen, because they had two guys that were shooting over 40% from three, which is it's literally unheard of. Okay. But the fact that Roddy himself is shooting 42% from three is excellent. It's just incredibly good. We do have issues opposed from Roddy, though. Like if you look down, nobody else has over 37%. So, that's something you all gonna have to work on. Like Brandon and Tony, Leo, all you. And you go right down the list here. Jaden, Farb, you're all gonna have to work on that in the gym. Like if I were like a computer, which I'm not, like if we were on the court, I would say literally, like, I would only have Roddy shooting, you know, but it's not a computer, and the sample size is not 100% accurate, and but if you think about it, if you need to shoot 55% effective field goal percentage, why would you take a shot that's only 33% likely to go in from three? Or why would you take a shot that's less than 55% to go in from two? Yeah. So the idea as an individual, you have to figure out where you're going to be that contributor. Are you going to be the one to get the ball to the rim and shoot 55% from there? Or are you going to get in the gym and work better in your threes to make 37% from there? Okay. But this is what we got. Needless to say, you guys are doing great. Still, I worry about the inability of other kids to make threes when it comes to beating the top teams during the live period. Because I mean, let's face it. I mean, this past weekend was good comp, but it's not. I would have to imagine that you're going to get better teams at the live period events. So we're going to see. We're going to see. But overall, it was really, really cool to hang out with you guys and see you guys at practice.